Iron cold knuckles, the fingers are locked. Physics of failure, the system is shocked. Ice in the beard like a shattered glass shield. Marrow is frozen, the fate is now sealed. Frozen leather straps cutting deep into skin. Tendon extension, let winter begin. Crystallized breath hitting oxygen hard. Logic of fracture, the body is scarred. Neural pathways are starting to glitch. Stitching the ribs with the sub-zero stitch. Pelvis is anchored in shivering shale. Writing the code of the unending gale. Hardwire the femur to frozen ground. Stone winter is building a temple of bone. White out horizon, the scanner is blown. Geometry lethal, the data is known. Arteries districting, the pressure is high. Algorithm burning the war towards sky. Calibration of terror, the shiver is pure. Only the hardest of alloys endure. Spine is a column of shattering quartz. Running the program and broken strong forts. Nerves are just cables, now death of the touch. Iron and muscle within the same clutch. Sinus is filling with powder dry ice. Pay the full binary blood every price. Frost is the architect mapping the core. Cold is the logic of eternal war. System reset in the eye of the storm. Bones are the chisel that give it a form. Frost is the architect mapping the path. Cold is the logic beyond all the wrath. Skull is a monolith, weathered and old. Everything fuses inside of the cold. Numbed hands are gripping the unyielding iron. Heartbeat is rhythm, the voice of a siren. Lungs are two bellows of ammonia gas. Sealing the entry at mountaintop pass. Ligaments tearing like cables under strain. Processing nothing but frozen black pain. Data restricting like snow on the shield. Guilt to the glacier, the flesh has been peeled. Scapula locking, the shoulder is fixed. Ancient and modern, the elements mixed. Jawbone is clamping, the teeth are of ice. Sacrifice nothing to gods made of ice. Cardiac rhythm is dropping to zero. Relay the frequency straight to the cells. This is base. Frost is the mason who carves out the face. Stillness the canvas, the ice is the ink. Watching the biological sensors all sync. Force the adrenaline into the valve. There is no pumper, then there is no valve. Cold is the driver, the primary source. Running the Nordic, destruct the main course. Blood is the antifreeze flowing in veins. Breaking the weakness, the spiritual chains. Total surrender to physical law. Nothing is left in the reach of the thaw. Frost is the architect mapping the core. Cold is the logic of eternal war. System reset in the eye of the storm. Bones are the chisel that give it a form. Frost is the architect mapping the path. Cold is the logic beyond all the wrath. Skull is a monolith, weathered and old. Everything fuses inside of the cold.
cold stone pressing on the vertebrae. Winter light in a shade of grey, shrunken belly against the ribs. Empty cradle, empty cribs, chewing on the bitter pine bark. Ignition in the frozen dark. Tighten belt, not digging deep. Vigil that the dead men keep. Hollow cheek bones cut the air. Lethal vision, lethal stare. Fasting for the killing state, purging out the useless weight. Calcium and iron grit, where the heavy X will hit. Oxygen is burning thin,
stretched across the frozen skin. Calibration of
the sinostrand.
Geometry of
the killing head.
data input
in the marrow blood.
Stainless logic on the seat of stone.
Vision blurring at the edges now. Frost is forming on the brow, recalibrating the central node. Stripping down the sensory code. Physics of the femur snap. Mapping out the Venice tap. Carotid pulses running slow. Blood is thick as slush and snow. Processing the axis tilt before the warm red life is filled. System check on tendon. Straight blade reaches the optimal end. Nerve endings are firing white. Cutting through the mental night. No more fat and no more fear. The killing path is running clear.
Calibration
Of the sinew strand.
Geometry of
The killing head.
data input
in the marrow bone.
Stainless logic on a seat of stone.
Bones hard, steel sharp, logic cold, body soul. La da 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 da. Execute the strike design along the cervical spine line. Kinetic energy in the wrist, gripping hard in the frozen fist. Zero summon, zero heat. Weakness suffers the defeat. All neurite is locked in place. Stuff that's got a starring face. Analyze the target breath, optimizing speed of death. Sternum cracks and rib cages yield on the empty battlefield. No one blood left to bleed, only the essential seed. Iron will and calcium frame. Killing is a binary game.
Calibration
Of the final strand.
Geometry of
The killing head.
data input
In the marrow bone.
Stainless logic on a seat of stone.
Built not tight, end of light. Pine bark taste, zero waste. Hollow vessel filled with lead. Walking while the flesh is dead. Geometry, symmetry, cold. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Feet planted in permafrost. Feet planted in permafrost. System check initial. System check initial. System check. Iron in the marrow, iron in the marrow, iron in the ribs. Scanning all the data, crushing all the fibs. Calibration, steady weight is on the spine. Following the geometry, following the line. Both the shattering and shields, kinetic on the arm. Internal logic stable, ignore the false alarm. Spine is a conductor, spine is made of steel. Nerves are only wires, nothing left to feel. Hardware in the sinew, hardware in the joint. Standing at the center, standing at the point. Feet planted in permafrost, heavy in the mud. Calculating velocity, calculating blood. Gravity is code, gravity is law. Standing in the rupture, standing in the floor. Shield is the interface, shield is the wall. Waiting for the mountain, waiting for the fall. Stillness is the protocol, stillness is the way. Watching every mountain as it turns to gray. Unblinking eyes, unblinking eyes. Reading all the data in the falling sky. Kinetic overload, kinetic force. Anchor to the bedrock, anchor to the source. Kinetic overload, kinetic force. Echo to the bedrock, echo to the source. Dust floating, the throat dust inside the lung. Silicon is bitter, bitter on the tongue. Mapping every fracture, mapping every crack. Bracing for the impact, bracing on the back. Algorithm ancient, algorithm deep. Watching every boulder, watching every leap. Ribs are pressure vessels, ribs are holding tight. Processing the pressure, processing the light. Tendons tight as cables, tendons pull to limit. Seconds in the sequence, counting every minute. Architecture solid, architecture cold. System never broken, system never old. Boulder shattering, old shield sparked inside the eye. Reading all the vectors, reading all the sky. Hard drive is the granite, hard drive is the will. Mountain is moving but the vanguard is still. Compression in the femur, compression in the knee. Calculating mass, calculating degree. Physics of the downward, physics of the crush. Standing in the static, standing in the rush. Nerve sending the signal, nerve sending the pulse. Filtering the vibration, filtering the convulse. Oxygen is scarce, oxygen is low. Maintaining the position, maintaining the flow. Axis at the ready, axis in the grip. Never let the anchor, never let it slip. Vertebrae are gears, vertebrae are locked. Standing at the bottom where the data is stopped. Skull is a fortress, skull is a vault. Waiting for the impact, waiting for the fault. Hard-coded to conquer, hard-coded to stay. Turning all the shrapnel, turning it away. Silenced. Heartbeat. Silenced heartbeat, silenced heartbeat. Zero output, zero defeat. Blood turning to cool and blood turning to ice. Locked in the geometry, locked in the device. Rebooter. Stillness is the protocol, stillness is the way. Watching every mountain as it turns to gray. Unblinking eyes, unblinking eyes. Reading all the data in the falling skies. Kinetic overload, kinetic force. Anchor to the bedrock, anchor to the source. Kinetic overload, kinetic force. Anchor to the bedrock, anchor to the source. Skeleton is data, skeleton is truth. Iron in the fiber, iron in the tooth. Laws of motion trailing, laws of motion break only. The permafrost only for the sake. Boulder shattering on shields, dust into the blood. Standing like a monolith, standing through the flood. Calibration complete, calibration is done. Facing all the rubble, facing everyone. Brits holding the mountain, Brits holding the weight. Bypassing the system, bypassing the fate. Anatomy of victory, anatomy of stone. Master of the physics, master of the bone. Be planted in permafrost, root inside the deep. Promises of granite, promises we keep. Unyielding the vanguard, unyielding the code. Walking through the rubble, walking up the road. Silenced heartbeat, unblinking eyes. Data remains. In the stockaded grid, ice seals the valve where the mercy is hid. Winter is data, the temperature drops. Motion decays until peristalsis stops. Cartilage presses on hardwood and beams. No voices found in the hardware of dreams. Calibrate tendon and tighten the cinch. Meter vs marrow, not yielding an inch. Wind howling through gaps in the structural wall. 5-6 of English define how we fall. Ligaments stretch past the breaking degree. Lock in the joint in the cold geometry.
Tissue is rigid, the tempo is set. Nerve ending signal a binary threat. Steel calli permeates, those gap in the jaw. Frozen entropy is ultimate law.
Blood freezing on the chin in the ice.
Clenched around cheek, take a physical
Black
trace.
and a frost, bite in the gale and the mud.
Circuit is drowned in the coagulate.
Blood freezing on the chin in the ice.
Clenched around cheek, take a physical
Black
trace.
and a frost, bite in the gale and the mud.
Circuit is drowned in the coagulate. Sharpen the edge for the vocal resection. 0.05 is the angle of perfection. Slice through the membrane, the larynx is split. Optical sensors are blind in the pit. Scarred vocal cords cannot process the sound. Vibration level is hitting the ground. Anatomy failing, the pressure is high. No resonance left for the structure to cry. Ribs are the cage for the punctured white lung. Binary bitterness coating the tongue. Nerves of the wearing disconnected now. Sulfur and copper on shattered brow.
Pulse rate is lower, the cycle is done.
crushes the hard drive outside of the sun. No audio signal, no wavy form peak. Vital is stronger than muscly is weak.
Blood freezing on the chin in the ice.
Clenched iron teeth, pay the face I
Black
cowboy.
in the frost, bite in the gale and the mud.
Circuit is round in the cordulate
Blood
blood.
freezing on the chin in the ice.
Clenched iron teeth, pay the face I
Black
cowboy.
in the frost, bite in the gale and the mud.
Circuit is drowned in the cordulate. Cryo pressure is mounting to red. Static is filling the space in the head. Jawbone is fused to the mask of the dead. Cartilage ritual is finished and fed. Hyoid is shattering. GRs are locked. All channels of agony permanent blocked. Vertebrae stacked in a vertical line. Dogs of the algorithm killing the wine. Stoic the platform on mutilating. Frozen the portal production of sin. Morrow and sinking and colder than lead. Living the mathematics of the dead.
Chapter is sealed,
Data is cold.
story is finished.
Truth is untold.
Snow on the neck is a pooling system grid. Hardware is broken, the logic has slid. Snap clavikely is a broken iron beam. Data is lost in a red modal stream. Shoulder is hanging by shredded white nodes. Blood is the fluid where winter erodes. Calcium scaffold is split at the base. 0% in the scan of the face. Bone by bone, bone by bone. Hardcode storm, hardcode storm. We rebuild in the ancient form. Calibrate the iron and the gene. Worship the work of the fallen machine. Bone by bone, bone by bone. Torn cartilage in the knee is the glitch. Stitching the skin with the copper wire stitch. Locking the joint at a 0 degree. Friction is grinding the metal in me. Femur is fractured, the vector is wrong. Torquing the tendons is no longer strong. Axle is bent and the casting is flat. Corax is crushed where the warhammer sat. Bone by bone, bone by bone. Hardcode storm, hardcode storm. We rebuild in the ancient form. Calibrate the iron and the gene. Worship the work of the fallen machine. Bone by bone, bone by bone. Slicing the veins with the sinew of wolf. Swallowed by ice in the dark binary gulf. Nerve fiber shiver like wire in wind. Carbon is shattered and platinum pinned. Arteries lead from the rim of the shield. Low voltage pulse in the white frozen field. Odin is process, so dying in black. Axe hits the system and splits up the stack. Pulsing black blood is the oil in the pan. 5-6 of pain for the modified man. Morrow is boiling, the pressure is high. Shield wall is cracked like the binary sky. The logic, data. Counting fractures 1 to the 10. Writing the code with the red rum pen. Raven is circling the Feyuri node. Skeletal hardware begins to erode. Spinal column is a serial bus. Iron is burning to watch light and rust. Valhalla is severed, the user is slain. Terminal a roar inside of the brain. Bone by bone, bone by bone. Hardcode storm, hardcode storm. We rebuild in the ancient form. Calibrate the iron and the gene. Worship the work of the fallen machine.
glistening shards of glass. Wait for the thermal gradient to pass. Plunge both the hands in the liquid void. Nerve cluster logic must be destroyed. My proximal phalange is locking in place. Zero the signal and harden the face. The code is a sequence of binary stings. Listen to what the conduction line sings. Radial artery constricting the flow. Blood is a data stream moving too slow. Force the metacarpals to settle and sink. Break every synapse, the fragile link. The water is iron, the water is lead. Kill the receptors and sever the thread. My ulna is vibrating high in the hertz. The system is stable despite what it asserts.
Calibrate marrow in frozen streams.
Shatter the circuit of weakness streams.
Tear out the softness, the geometry blind.
Convert the system to Nordic mind.
Bone in the water and ash in the gale.
The Valkyrie logic will never fail.
Iron and fiber in negative codes.
Stay on the bloody and glorious road. Pick up the flip with a callous grip. Watch the first layer of epithelium strip. The surface is stripped to the white of the bone. Hone the anatomy, sharpen the stone. No feelings detected, just friction and mass. Wait for the cladding percentage to pass. Exposing the tendons to oxygen burn. This is the lesson the candidate learn. The dermis is mapped with a jagged design. Follow the path of the ancestral line. Scars of the heart with the upgraded skin. Let in the bitter cold atmosphere in. The couples are grinding, the sound is a gear. Total deletion of biological fear. Flesh is the case in the armor thin. Hardwire the wrath from the marrow within.
Calibrate marrow in frozen streams.
Shatter the circuits of weakness streams.
Tear out the softness, the geometry blind.
Convert the system to Nordic mind.
Bone in the water and ash in the gale.
The Valkyrie logic will never fail.
Iron and fiber and negative codes.
Stay on the bloody and glorious road. The diaphragm quakes in a spasm of state. Force the internal combustion to wait. Overload muscular twitching with will. Force the entire machinery still. The ribs are a cage for a beating machine. Keep the input and the output clean. Rib number 7 is cracking the bind. Leave all the mercy and comfort behind. Calibrate shiver to 0%. This is the way that the warriors win. The swine is a conduit of frozen zinc. Do not allow the processor to blink. Obstacle aperture dilated wide. No room for biological levers to hide. The pupil is following light from the peak. There is no language for those who are weak. Cyanotic membranes are locking the jaw. Lips turning blue by the natural law. The face of the mass made of limestone and ice. Painted them into their physical price. Calculate trajectories, axe in the hand. The data is written in frost on the land. My tumor is follow my tibia strong. I am the cadence of battlefield song. Every receptor responds to the blade. This is how Valkyrie battles are made. The runes are the code and the blood is the ink. Stand at the edge of the eternal brain.
Calibrate narrow in frozen streams.
Shatter the circuits of weakness streams.
Tear out the softness, the geometry blind.
Convert the system to Nordic mind.
Bone in the water and ash in the gale.
The Valkyrie logic will never fail.
Iron and fiber and negative codes.
Stay on the bloody and glorious road. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
I count the data points of leaking red. Calibration stable till the last man is dead. Steel meets the shoulder where the joint locks tight. Spear tip is lodged in the fibers of the white. Ignore the signal from the severed nerve end. Data is processing, the radius must bend. Scanning the geometry of broken ribs and ash. Cold iron calculates the depth of every slash. Code in the bone and marrow in the blood. Boots in the marrow and the thick black mud. Battlefield logic in the scar and the skin. Valhalla, the data where the system begins. Stormborn soldier with an internal clock. Calculated slaughter on the granite and rock. Rock, 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 rock. One digit missing. Releasing from the grip on the half. Recalculate the leverage of the ashwood shaft. Bone marrow thumping under pressure of the shield. Kinetic energy released across the frozen field. Adrenaline is masking all the burn in the heat. Sensory suppression till the circuit is complete. Tasting the iron on the tongue and the tooth. Violence is the only mathematical truth. Calculating bloodlust by the leader on the snow. Optimize the output for the lethal final blow. Tendon and the ligament are stretching to the limit. Map out the anatomy and find the kill within it. No room for stuttering the logic of the blade. Just the physicality of how the corpse is made. Armor is the hardware and the Hulk is the shell. Mastering the physics in this frozen northern hell. Code in the bone and iron in the blood. Boots in the marrow and the thick black mud. Battlefield logic in the scar and the skin. Valhalla, the data where the system begins. Stormborn soldier with an internal clock. Calculated slaughter on the granite and rock. System is overloaded, but the will is still strong. Filtering the screaming from the ancient war song. Skeleton destruction for the impact and the weight. Geometry of vengeance is the only open gate. Synchronize the breathing with the rhythm of the steel. Human limitation is a ghost I cannot feel. Shattered humorous, but the system is online. Tracing every vessel down the axis of the spine. Internal mechanics keeping order in the gray. Iron will is driving all the weakness far away. Input the trauma as a tactical report. Biological defenses taking hold of the fort. Grinding down the enemy with leverage and force. Nature is a weapon running on its deadly course. Red data stemming to the roots of the tree. Physical reality is all that I can see. Locked in the geometry of slaughter and crime. Frozen in the marrow till the end of all time.
The nerve, the marrow starts to freeze. Static in the brain, the logic of the knees. Code is the input, the output is steel. The geometry of hunger is the only thing real. The marrow in the femur turns to heavy gray lead. We scan the horizon for the blow we must shed. Muscles are pistons, the oxygen is low. We follow the vector where the northern winds blow. Left foot heavy, right foot strike. Sharpen the logic, sharpen the pike. Single file sequence, zero gap flow. Master the physics,
Master the snow. Sever the roots.
the system is pure, the logic is absolute.
March to the core.
We delete the weak and we calculate the war. No looking back, the signal is clean. We are the cog and we are the machine.
Sever the roots.
The law of the pack is the only pursuit. He falls to the permafrost, a glitch in the line. His tendons are snapped, the fibers won't align. The tibia is shattered, the circuit is broken. The code of survival is the only word spoken. I turn from the brother, I calibrate the cost. His heat is a variable already lost. His ribs are a cage for a failing machine. I sweep the horizon, I keep the path clean. Eyes fixed forward, scanning the grid. Bury the memory the forefathers hid. Frozen saltate on the skin of the face. Ice in the ducts, there is no time for grace.
Frozen tears are crystal, salt on the cheek, a physical marker left by the weak. Snow is the eraser, covering the track, the law of the mountain, never look back.
Calibrate the breath, calculate the stride. There is no ghost and there is no pride. Only the hard drive, only the bone. We march together, we die alone. Radius and on the lock into the shield. We never surrender, we never will yield. The nervous system is a wire in the dark, following the pathway, hitting the mark. White out data, blinding the sight. We process the darkness, we process the light. Single file marching, the rhythm is God. Crushing the gravel, crushing the sod.
Sever the roots.
The system is pure, the logic is absolute.
March to the core.
We delete the weak and we calculate the war. No looking back, the signal is clean. We are the cog and we are the machine.
Sever the roots.
right foot strike. Sharpen the logic, sharpen the pike. Single file sequence, zero gap flow. Master the physics, master the snow. Snow on the track.
Zero feedback.
Always fixed for
Sever the root.
Sever the root.
Code initialization in the marrow and bone. System is online in the battle zone. Radius calculated to the millimeter grade. Calibrating torque of the iron forged blade. Dum 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 impact on the frozen ground code. System switching to the slaughter mode. Calibrating the rotational torque. The physical body is doing the work. Radius measured from sternum to wrist. Calculating the power of the twist. Grip is tightening on the ashwood shaft. Execute the violence and the warcraft. Vertebrae stacking in a vertical tower. Optimizing the kinetic surge of power. Input coordinates to the front line. Metal is syncing with the curve of the spine. Blood is pumping at a standardized rate. Open the heavy iron shield wall gate. Muscle fibers are the pistons that fire. The engine is climbing up higher and higher. My heart is a drum in a thunderous beat. The flesh is an engine producing the heat. Lungs are the bellows that pump in the air. The calculated swing is a rainforest layer. Splitting the shield in an interval time. Cleaving the marrow in rhythm and rhyme. Bone and the iron and tendon and steel. The axe is the only equation I seal. Shields are the pixels in the optical view. Slicing the perimeter and breaking on through. Carbon density of the opposing plank. Breaking the code of the enemy rank. Impact point is on the seventh rib cage. Anatomy ripping on the center of stage. Hydraulic pressure in the bicep and thigh. Tracking the raven in the pixelated sky. Data is streaming through the central nerve. Adjusting the blade to the trajectory curve. Femoris snapping with a mechanical crack. Zero hesitation and there is no turning back. Weight of the iron is a constant known sum. Wait for the rhythm of the percussion drum. Processing the harvest at a kilohertz speed. Feeding the marrow with the violence it needs. My heart is a drum in a thunderous beat. The flesh is an engine producing the heat. Lungs are the bellows that pump in the air. The calculated swing is a rainforest layer. Splitting the shield in an interval time. Cleaving the marrow in rhythm and rhyme. Bone and the iron and tendon and steel. The axe is the only equation I seal. Gridlock, axle shock, shoulder joint, focal point, capillary surge, biological merge, torque ratio climbing the scale. Iron is driving the impact Algorithm running in the back of the brain, the nervous system, ignoring the pain, ligament stretching like a tension wire. Connective tissue in the engine on fire. Memory stored in the synapse and cell. Resonance clanging like an iron forge fell. Swinging the axe in a 1-0 beat. Cold logic driving every move of the feet. Torque is increasing in the deltoid group. Infinite running of the slaughtering loop. Scanning the horizon for the heat map trace. Iron is meeting the maxilla face. Calculating recoil of the impact shock. System is steady as a hardened rock. Oxygen saturation is high and clean. The physical vessel is a perfect machine. My heart is a drum in a thunderous beat. The flesh is an engine producing the heat. Lungs are the bellows that pump in the air. The calculated swing is a rainforest layer. Splitting the shield in an interval time. Cleaving the marrow in rhythm and rhyme. Bone and the iron and tendon and steel. The axe is the only equation I seal. Dum 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 dum.
Geometry of death, cut through the tendon, terminate the breath. Pulse rate low in the winter dark. Steel meets marrow and leaves a mark. Rib cage cracked by the warhammer swing, and the logic of the living thing.
We delete the arrow, erase the code.
Bone in the mud on the frozen road.
Calibrate the axe to the nerve and the vein.
Empathy is noise.
Biology is pain.
We call the weak.
We feed the crow.
As the data drains and the temperature is low. Step over hands that are begging in the dirt. System override to the feeling of the hurt. No redemption in the physics of the blade. Watch the hardware fail in the village shade. Silence the child with a clinical strike. Cold iron feeding on the vitals on a spike. Dropping the blade without blinking an eye. Physics of the steel dictate who must die.
Under the rip, sever the nerve.
The law of the wolf is the only law we serve.
Under the rip, sever the nerve.
The law of the wolf is the only law we serve. Sternum snaps with a binary sound. Liquid red data soak in the ground. Measure the angle of the neck and the spine. Cutting the cord on the life support line. Muscles are tension and tendons are wire. Burning the meat in the geometry of fire. Calibration of the killing machine. Keeping the blade and the conscience
We
clean.
delete the arrow, erase the code.
Bone in the mud on the frozen road.
Calibrate the axe to the nerve and the vein.
Empathy is noise.
Biology is pain.
We call the weak.
We feed the crow.
As the data drains and the temperature is low. No soul in the marrow, no ghost in the bone. Just carbon and calcium standing alone. Processing the corpses to 0 and 1. Work of the executioner never is done. Flesh is a liability, love is a defect. Only the logic of winter is perfect. Grip on the hill, data in the eye. None of the weakings in earth and I die. Scanning the field for the signs of the soft. Raise the iron stand and run the killer aloft. Taking through the ribs of the fallen and the dead. Paging all the rights, no systematic spread. No hesitation, no mercy, no planning. In the biolog, that counts the year of men.
We delete the arrow, erase the code.
Bone in the mud on the frozen road.
Calibrate the axe to the nerve and the vein.
Empathy is noise.
Biology is pain.
We call the weak.
We feed the crow.
As the data drains and the temperature is low. Ash fall down. Cold on the ground. Logic in the steel. No other
The frost locks the jaw like a rusted vice. Blood turns to data, the veins turn to ice. I spit out a broken tooth into the silt. My spine is a circuit that won't ever wilt. The rib cage is clamping the lungs in the grip. Recalibrate systems, the nerves never slip. I crawl from the under the weight of the dead. A hailstorm of iron is stuck in my head. Bone and ash, bone and ash. Steel and code, steel and cold. Stare at the moon while the scaffolding breaks. My heart rests starts in the cold and the H is scabbing over the gash in the side. The data is ancient, the will is my guide. Grinding the marrow to flint and to spark. I am the geometry carved in the dark. Anatomy hardened by frozen design. I rewrite the laws of the physical line. Calibrate muscles, the fibers I've taught. This biological war is the only one fought. My tendons are cables, a braided old wire. I drag through the muck and the mud and the mire. The radius shatters, the owner is split. I reboot the motor and never will quit. Geometry rigid in sockets of grease. My physical engine denies any peace. Dead weight is pressing my sternum to earth. I calculate angles of ancestral worth. The gliding is instant to hematoma tight, processed in trauma in chains of the night. I push off a shield and I push off a skull. The void in my vision is heavy and dull. I am the heart with a glitch in the clay. I am the beast that refuses decay. Flesh is the storage, the memory is pain. I am the syntax of blood in the rain. No soul in the machine, just the marrow and grit. Just the force of the impact where axes I've hit. Stare at the moon while the scaffolding breaks. My heart restarts in the cold and the ages. Scabbing over the gash in the side. The data is ancient, the will is my guide. Grinding the marrow to flint and to spark. I am the geometry carved in the dark. Anatomy hardened by frozen design. I rewrite the laws of the physical line. Scan the horizon for banners and flags. My epitaph isn't these blood-soaked rags. I am the sequence, the biological fact. The contract of living is strictly intact. I rise like the tower of card, a legend strut. The eyes of the raven are open and shut. Eyes bid up the sky with a mouth full of shale. The biological logic will never ever fail. Bone and ash, steel and cold, system restored, legacy stored. Locked in frozen grip, blood is slick across the ship. Sails are torn to hang in shreds, counting stars above the dead. Ignore the meat upon the deck, snap the tendon, keep the check. Calibrate the spinal cord, sharpen up the data stored. Radius and on a lock, feel the current, feel the shock. Stars are points upon the grid, follow where the vector slid. Ice is forming on the brow, I am system, I am proud. Marrow freezes in the deep logs of logic, now I keep. Adapt the photo, snap the frame.
Erase the face, erase the name.
K-O-O-L-D design.
Draw the geometric line.
Fracture the ribs to fit the mold.
Blood is steel and white and cold.
Process war.
Ravens waiting at the door. Crew is piling by the mass. Physics says they did not last. Carbon waste and frozen hair. Oxygen is thin and rare. Jaw is tight, the mandible. Hunger is expandable. Input salt and output red. Leave the weak inside the bed. Ligaments are stretched to wires. Fueling the internal fires. Navigate by burning light. Algorithm wins the night. Epidermis cracked and dry. No reaction in the eye. Hardware strong and software black. Never looking at the back. Keep the pace, salt is drying on the face. In that firing rapid burst, I am vessel, I am first. Show the sock and grinds on steel, friction is the only real. Calibrate the neural path, do not calculate the wrath. Break the mark, the northern blue, systems running clean and true. Ribs are cages for the pump, over every frozen numb. Bolt is fighting in the vein, total binary of pain. Data set is one man deep, kill the ghosts before they sleep. No more names in the marrow bone. No more weight in the frozen zone.
Fill the empty water tank. Teeth are grinding, calcium dust.
weak is the only god. Strike the earth and break the sod. System online.
Online.
Calibration complete.
Complete. Calibration starts cold in the air. Oxygen freezes, breath is a glare. 0 degrees, the glacier is near. System reset. I disappear. Frost is spreading deep in the veins. Sub-zero logic breaking the chains. Calcium matrix hardened ribs. Binary battle tactical scripts. Iron and carbon locked in the bone. North is the center, ice is the throne. Lungs compressing breath into mist. Death is the data point, fate is the twist. Skull is a chamber, cold and hollow. Follow the pattern, only the follow. Teeth are grinding sharp like the axe. Input the rhythm, cover the tracks. Frost on the tendons, grip on the steel. Only the physics, nothing to feel. Anatomy freezes, geometry wins where they Truman ends. The engine begins. Skin is hardening, cold as the ice. Pay for the power, death is the price. Heartbeat slowing, pounding the drum. Into the glacier, now I become ice turning, white blind in the storm. Shatter the structure, change the form. Skin is hardening, cold as the ice. Death is the price. Death is the price. Connect the nerve to the permafrost wire. Kill the metabolism, kill the desire. Blood is thickening, sludging the valve. No one is coming, no one to solve. Cartilage griddle, snapping the cold. Old gods waiting, ancient and bold. Axes are swinging, measured in degrees. Flesh turning solid down to the knees. Spine is a column, pillars of glass. Watch the centuries, watch them pass. Calibration, a muscle and thought. Caught in the web, caught in the plot. Nerves are firing at absolute zero. No more vanguard, no more hero. Just a machine, just a machine. Cold and efficient, violent and clean. Shield wall logic, locked in the grid. Shield wall logic, do what is bid. Shield wall logic, locked in the grid. Shield wall logic, do what is bid. Bones of the father, metal and ice. One single motion, sacrifice twice. Bones of the father, metal and ice. One single motion, sacrifice twice. Eyes turning white. Eyes turning white. Eyes turning white. Eyes turning white. Eyes kill the daylight. Fingers are talons, frozen and stiff. Stand at the edge, stand on the cliff. Skull is a helmet, locked on the jaw. Universal physics, natural law. Marrow is glacier, blood is the sea. This is the final geometry. Legs are anchors deep in the snow. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. Joe is cemented, tongue is a blade. This is the covenant, this is the trade. Flesh is the era, ice is the fix. Sticks in the veins, sticks in the veins. Heartbeat stopping critical error. No more breathing, no more terror. Skin is hardening, cold as the ice. Pay for the power, death is the price. Heartbeat slowing, pounding the drum. Into the glacier, now I become ice turning, white blind in the storm. Shatter the structure, change the form. Skin is hardening, cold as the ice. Death is the price. System optimized, cold and complete. No more rhythm, no more beat. Only the glacier, only the stone. I am the monument, standing alone. Are the mountain, ice is the skin, where I end, the storm begins. centuries of glacial compression.
I process the data of ancestral aggression. Focus the optic on the geometry of death. Carbon is loading in the rhythm of the breast. The rib cage is the chassis of hardened iron bars. The skin is a map of subcutaneous scars. My radius and ulna are welded to the haft. I am the master of the ballistic craft. The femur is a pillar in the architecture of war. I wait for the enemy at the granite door. Synaptic response is a closed circuit loop. I am the commander and the only troop. Calibration of the humorous is fixed at the site. I am the logic in the frozen northern light.
Calcified will, cold bone core.
I am the hardware, the weight of the war.
Stone skin grit, static in the past.
I am the shatter point, I am the glass.
Boom moving, boom moving, boom moving, boom moving, boom moving, boom moving.
Joints locking into place with the mechanical grind. The marrow is the only data left to find. The epidermis is shifting to gray. Solar radiation cannot pierce the clay. The light in the moss overwrite the chest plate. I am the algorithm deciding your fate. Vertebrae fusing to the basalt wall. I refuse the physics of the stumble or the fall. The cartilage hardens into crystalline forms. I am the anchor in the center of the storm. Tendons are cables stretched to the limit of the load. I am the vanguard at the end of the road.
Home to the basalt, iron to the ice.
Home to the basalt, iron to the ice.
Home to the basalt, iron to the ice.
Home to the basalt, iron to the ice. Nerve fibers rewired to the frequency of pain. I am the stagnant blood inside the central vein. The sternum is the shield for the engine in the chest. I am the sentinel who never needs the rest. My occipital bone is anchored to the sky. The law of the mountain is the only reply. Calculating impact of the shiver and the shook. I am the sentence in the binary book. Phalanges are fused to the grip of the steel. I ignore the variable of how the ligaments feel. The clavicle is locked in the structural grid. I am the monolith the centuries hid. Respiration sequence at 0.3. I am the mountain. The mountain is me. Unmoving silhouette in the gorge of the lost. I am the statue of the permafrost. Oxygen data's thinning to none. I am the shadow that blinds the sun.
Calcified will, cold bone core.
I am the hardware, the weight of the war.
Stone skin grit, static in the past.
I am the shatter point, I am the glass.
I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving,
Dum dum da da.
I'm moving, I'm moving.
Bone turning into the obsidian glass, and then nothing shall ever be permitted to pass. The mandible is frozen in the silent command. I am the bedrock of the northern land. Sub-zero logic in the femoral shaft. I am the anchor of the ancient craft. The scapula is part of the ridge and the peak. I am the answer that the cowards see. No more flex in the anatomy map. I am the trigger of the granite trap. System is stable, the circuit is done. I am the father, I am the son.
System locked. Code set in stone. I stand alone. heavy iron code. Marrow starts to boil, let the veins explode. Optic nerve rewiring, infrared and gray. Neural paths alighting, clearing out the way. Seeing through the sockets of a dead man's skull. Grandfather is watching while the senses low. I see through his eyes, peering through the mist. Iron in the grip, leather on the wrist. Rib cage is the chassis, spine is the support. Battle data streaming, entering the fort. No more hesitation, no more human thought. System is processing every war ever fought. Blood is the conductor, salt is in the pour. Unlock the encryption of 1,000-year war. Cortex recalibrating geometry of death. Cold steel logic in every single breath. Bloodline download, system reborn. Skull-plated armor, flesh has been torn. Swinging the sword in an ancient arc. Lighting up the valley, killing in the dark. Ancient death, the streaming bone and the blade. Never hesitating, never being afraid. Calibrate the impact, measure out the force. Nature is the engine, killing is the core. Muscle memory, fiber from a past life stream. Never know why you're living in the scheme. Telling tight as cables, pilling on the bone. I am not a soldier, I am a drone. Logic of the strike, physics of the womb. By the laws of gravity, you are now doomed. Cartilage shifting, adjusting to the weight. Calculating angles, filling up your fate. Architecture is pumping through the copper vein. Accessing the storage of a killer's brain. Shoulder blade pivot from a greased black joint. Sword tip finding the pressure at your point. Hard drive spinning in the center of the chest. Heartbeat sync to the grandfather's test. Biometric lock on the hilt of the axe. Human limitation turning into wax. Forgotten code speaks. The weak point leaks. Tongue on the teeth. Steel from the sheath. Echoes of 1,000 wars ringing in the ear. Presses in the frequencies deleting all the fear. Shield walls, geometry, hex coded fans bringing logical warfare, making perfect sense. Femur in the tibia locked into the ground. Shockwave dispersal, making no sound. Crispo flicker, microsecond snap. Falling like a mountain into the trap. Pipe down in the muscles, static chart build. Ancestor directory, enemy is killed. I am the hardware, they got the soft. Lifting the battles of virus aloft. Scars of the fire, what's in it, the shield. Harvest and beacons on the killing field. Ditches the Viking, analog pain. Rust in the marrow, wax in the brain. Abstract mercy, no subjective grace. Just the physical reality of steel in the face. Connective tissue burning, ligaments strained. Ancestral intelligence is being maintained. Calibration stable, focus is pure. Bloodline is the poison. Bloodline is the cure. Bloodline download, system reborn. Skull-plated armor, flesh has been torn. Swinging the sword in an ancient arc. Lighting up the valley, killing in the dark. Ancient as a screaming bone in the blade. Never hesitating, never being afraid. Calibrate the impact, measure out the force. Nature is the engine, killing is the course. Software is patient, history is restarting, logic is departing.
With the surgical eye, their geometry rots beneath the sky. Smell a roasting pig in the stagnant air. Velvet cloaks on shoulders, stripped bare. I saw consensus in the limbic node. I found the glitch inside the moral code. They stack the stones in a feeble grid to hide the shame the ancestors hid. I scan the walls for a structural flaw. There is no logic but the carnivore law. Bio rises up to the back of the throat, watching the wealth in the stagnant mold.
Burn the soft timber, break the lock.
System Anatomy shattered in the cold reboot.
We are the dads of the axe and the boot.
Iron in the mirror, iron in the grip. Calibrate the angle before the ship. That the points get up on the frozen ground. Bones vibrate to the low frequency sound. Ribs of a case for the failing drive. Only the militant will stay alive. Neural pathways, synapse and fire. Build in the heat of a funeral pyre. I see the fat on the mandible bone. Sitting too long on a limestone throne. Their plasma is thin, their logic is weak.
We are the vanguard.
The havoc we see.
Tibia, fibula,
Marrow and axe.
tibia, fibula,
Physics and facts.
tibia, fibula,
Marrow and axe.
tibia, fibula.
Physics and facts. Me on a gold coin slick and cold. The currency is set for the quick and know the tendons tight in the preset arc. Light in the first torch prevents the dark. Vector is set for the central day. Kinetic energy, master of fate. Burn the perimeter, reboot the scene. Wash the grip with the kerosene. I do not envy the circle of bed. I kill the calcium in from the head. Your firewall crumbles, your hardware is dust.
We are the edge.
And we are the rust.
Burn the soft timber, break the lock.
System failure from the chiseled rock.
Fracture the radius, crush the shell.
We are the virus in the infidel.
Burn it, crush it.
Anatomy shattered in the cold reboot.
We are the dad to the axe and the boots.
Laughing at the lock gates bolted tight. They think the iron can stop the blight, but gravity works on the hinge and the pin. We open the valve and the void rushes in. Vertebrae snap like the dry winter twig. Feed the remains to the fattened pig. No mercy found in the synapse loop. Scatter the cattle and shatter the coop. The epidermis is peeled from the plan, ending the program of civilized man. Physics of impact, the wake of the steel, crushing the nerve underneath the heel.
Tap the alignment,
Check the decay,
ligaments tearing.
cartilage gray
We are the consequence.
of your mistakes.
Static in the air.
Iron in the lungs, tear the silk from your stuttering tongues.
The grid is gone, the code is gone.
We are the wolf in the digital gun.
The grid is gone, the code is gone.
We are the wolf in the digital gun. Digital dawn.
The code is broken, the logic is thin. Feel the vibration beneath the cold skin. Ribs cracking open to let out the heat. The geometry shatters beneath heavy feet. Statues toppling into the mud. Ancestral data is written in blood. The system is failing, the sequence is wrong. We calibrate death with a hammer and song. The hardware of empire is starting to rust. I watch from the ridge as the kings turn to dust. The nerves and the fingers are twitching for steel. The laws of physics are all that is real. Bone hitting bone in the center of town. We execute gravity, tearing it down. The marrow is heavy, the marrow is cold. We dump the excess and we burn the old. From chopped into firewood, burn in the night. The date of history lost to the light. Gold melting down in the furnace of hate. Where calibrate marrow to standardize fate. Shields crash down. The circuit is blown. We strip the meat from the weight of the throne. Tapestries burning, the fiber is black. There is no reboot and no turning back. Kings begging down on the callous knees. The laws of physics will bring on the freeze. I watch from the ridges, the capital falls. Digital shadows across the stone walls, the synapses firing, the exit is shut. Weakness is scanned and the weakness is cut. Vertebrae clicking in sequence in time. The blood in the gutter is thick as the grime. No mercy recorded, no mercy in files. We walk the perimeter, counting the piles. The muscle is tightening over the frame. We delete the memory, delete the name. The crown is a frequency, kill the sound. We bury the kings in the frozen ground. Thrones chopped in the firewood, burn in the night. The date of history lost to the light. Cold melting down in the furnace of hate, where calibrate marrow to standardize fate. Shields crash down, the circuit is blown. We strip the meat from the weight of the throne. Tendon and ligaments stretch to the break. The physical boundary is all that we take. I see the smoke, I see the smoke. The logic of empire was only a joke. Binary chaos, the bitter end. Bones that are broken will never mend. Gold melting hot in the heat of the fire. The smoke is a ladder, the smoke is a spire. I scan the horizon for signs of the weak. The marrow is silent, the marrow won't speak. Shields hitting ground with the binary thud. The calibration of steel and the flood. The nervous system is reaching the peak. The future is I and the future is bleak. Axes are swinging and nuts of the law. The marrow is bitter, the marrow is raw. I watch the geometry bleed in the snow. The higher they climb, the harder they go. Skeleton's pavement, the data is leaked. The apex of weakness that finally peaked. We cut the umbilical, cut the supply. We watch the last of the monarchy die. Thrones chopped in the firewood, burning the night. The date of history lost to the light. Gold melting down in the furnace of hate, where calibrate marrow to standardize fate. Shields crash down, the circuit is blown. We strip the meat from the weight of the throne. The marrow is cold. The system is old. Gold melting hard. Everything rot. Everything rot.
I stare at the wall, the geometry is flat. I process the shadows, I ignore every rat. The calcium in bone, the density is high. I stiffen the neck, I refuse to look sky. Trip 47, the timing is pure. The system is stable, the metal is sure. I count every drop, the interval is locked. The entry is barred and the memory is blocked. The nerve endings freeze, the conductivity slows. I monitor closely how the ventilation goes. The ribs are a cage, a protection array. I wait for the dawn or the end of the day. The tendons are wired, the tension is stored. I buffer the silence, I never get bored. I stare at the puck in the limestone and grit. The code on my father is already written.
My heart rate is steady.
The pulse is a drum.
My reason is axis.
The winter has come.
The marrow is iron.
The fiber is steel. I shut down the senses, I reject every feel. I calibrate muscles, I tighten the grip. I ignore the corrosion, I ignore the drip. The flesh is a hull, the anatomy is gear. I delete the vibration, I delete every fear. My spine is a pillar, a vertical spine. I trace every fissure, trace every line. The oxygen levels are stable and low. I measure the current, I measure the flow. My teeth are the shell, my tongue is the lead. I refuse every word, let the silence be fed. I calculate distance, I calculate mass. I watch every atom of the darkness pass. The synapses firing, the logic is cold. I refuse to be broken, I refuse to be sold. The physics of torture, the physics of stone. I build up the fortress inside of the throat is sealed. The internal data is not revealed. 100 beats per 60 seconds. I do not respond when the darkness beckons. My hammer is a shield, post my skull is a dome. I am the master of this concrete home. Steady. The blankness is me. I locked all the data, I swallowed the key. The cartilage hardens, the ligament tears, but the brain is a banner that the wolf always wears. I am an array of an ancient design. The gods in the fur kits, the blood in the line. I count the vibrations, the resonance strength. I pleasure the dungeon, the width and the line. I refuse to speak, the focus are dead. I run the hard code in the back of the head. The Hynix are waiting, the potential is stored. I am the shield wall. The reaction is set. I have knuckle gun, I have not met regret. My bones are the markers, my skin is the map. I sublime the decay, I survive the trap. I stare at the wall. I stare at the wall. I process it all. I stare at the wall. I process it all. I stare at the wall. Dum 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 dum.
Standing on the peak where the oxygen fails, my ribs are a cage for the coldest of gales. Watch the sun flicker then burn after gray. The geometry of light is fading away. Snow burying boots where the leather is thin. The data of winter is etched in the skin. I see the sky turning entirely white, calibrating the void for the end of the light. My tendons are iron but frozen to glass, waiting for the seconds and shadows to pass. The code of the glacier is perfect and stark, mapping the depths of the ancestral dark. 0 degrees in the marrow of bone. Ravens are circling the cold and the alone. 0 degrees in the marrow of bone. Valhalla is open but the gates are of stone. Bone in the ash where the banners once flew. The laws of physics are stripping the view. Nerves are the wires and they snap in the gale. The system has crashed and the senses all fail. Wind drowning sound like a static on screen. The blood in my veins is a frozen machine, grinding the teeth on the edge of the steel. Only the weight of the mountain is real. My marrow is storing the last of the heat, dragging the iron through drifts on the feet. The formula ends where the blizzard begins. Winter is cleansing the last of my sins. Skull in the frost, all will be lost. Calibrate death, finalize breath. Terminal velocity is snow in the lungs. Silence is cutting the last of the tongues. My spine is a pillar of unyielding frost, calculating the sum of the war and the cost. No more shield walls, just the white in the eyes. The logic of winter has severed the ties. Final breath freezing as hard as a blade. The process is finished, the debt has been paid. My knees on the hinges that rust in the gale. The biological hardware is starting to fail. One last command for the flickering mind. Leave the geometry of living behind. 0 degrees in the marrow of bone. Ravens are circling the cold and the alone. 0 degrees in the marrow of bone. Valhalla is open but the gates are of stone. Frozen, frozen, cold-blooded. Iron will, iron will. Just fell. the smoke of the final ice breath. No thaw is coming to unlock the ground. Only the white and the silence profound.
Let the weight hit the crust. I reduce the metal to a decimal of dust, dropping the last piece of armor to the shelf. I strip the binary right out of myself. Skin on the permafrost, nerves start to fire. I am the circuit, I am the wire. Walking barefoot where the glaciers divide. No more shielding left to buffer the stride. Calibrate marrow to the sub-zero state. Geometry of hunger, I am cleaning the slate. Ribs are the rafters, the lungs are the bellows. I hunt the echoes that hide in the hollows. Data of survival is etched in the bone. I am the hardware standing alone. Physics of freezing, the blood map is clear. I have no frequency governed by fear.
I am the zero, the point of the night.
I strip the mechanics to function as life.
No weapons in hand, just the grip of the cold.
I break every contract that I ever sold.
Eyes reflex the void
In the heart of the soul,
where the data is dead
and the body
is born.
scan the horizon for the signal of heat. Ice is the pavement for the soles of my feet. My tendons are cables, they tighten for war. I don't need the metal or the myth anymore. Systemic removal of the cargo I hauled. I stand on the ledger with the program recalled. Each vertebrae clicks like a gear in the lock. I am the granite, I am the rock. Calibration of the vision is set to the dark. Frost on the optics, a cold-blooded spark. My pulse is the clock, rate the rhythm is fixed. Where the flesh and the granite are heavily mixed. Input is zero, the output is pure. I am the illness and I am the cure. Bones are the brackets, the muscles are cold. I am the carrier, I am the load.
I am the zero, the point of the night.
I strip the mechanics to function as life.
No weapons in hand, just the grip of the cold.
I break every contract that I ever sold.
Eyes reflex the void
In the heart of the soul,
where the data is dead and the body is born. No weapon, no shield.
my nerves are the lightning, my marrow is iron. I am the hunter, the ghost, the Orion.
No weapon, no weapon, no weapon.
Stripping the language, I speak in the grit. I am the vacuum, the fire, the pit. Synapses snapping like ice on the lake. I am the circuit that nothing can break. Physics of motion, the momentum is raw. I am the logic, I am the law. My skull is the cockpit, my breath is the exhaust. I pay every tally regardless of cost. Absolute silence is the sound of the wind, where the biology ends and the physics begin. I look at the world through the lens of the null. Empty the vessel and empty the sky. Reboot the system in the middle of death.
I am the zero, the point of the night.
I strip the mechanics to function as life.
No weapons in hand, just the grip of the cold.
I break every contract that I ever sold.
Eyes reflex the void
In the heart of the soul,
where the data is dead and the body is born.
absolute silence. 0 point attained. 0 point attained.
Index finger tracing the hollow eye socket, locking the concept inside of a bracket. Trace the mandible at the edge of the jaw, written in calcium under the law. Calculate the torque of the cervical spine, reading the code of the ancestor line. Axis and atlas, the hinge of the head. Hardware is all that remains of the dead. Bury the X in the frontal bone blade, calibration of fury to process the weight. No room for pity or hollow regret. Only the structure is permanently set. Zygomatic arch under the scar, mapping the distance from here to the star. Suture the cranium tight at the seam. Power is logic, not part of a dream. This is the scaffold, this is the frame. Binary logic in an ancient name. Tensile strength in the radius. Bones strike like a hammer on a polished stone. Strip off the softness to find the design. Geometry follows the warrior line. 1,000 newtons of pressure applied. Nothing but calcium left on the inside. Thumb on the sternum to count every slat. Living inside of a tactical flat. Feel all the ribs through the surface of skin. Counting the leverage to gather the wind. Intercostal wiring running the grid. Executing the data that the ancestors did. Scapula blades like a shield on the back. Prime for the impact and prime for attack. Humorous piston and under control. No metaphysics to clutter the hole. Pelvic foundation is locked to the ground. Waiting for impact without any sound. Tibia struts in the frozen terrain. Physics of violence and physics of pain. Calibrate tension in every need. This is the only reality. This is the scaffold, this is the frame. Binary logic in an ancient name. Tensile strength in the radius. Bones strike like a hammer on a polished stone. Strip off the softness to find the design. Geometry follows the warrior line. 1,000 newtons of pressure applied. Nothing but calcium left on the inside. Grayish mark on the frontal bone blade. Entry point data to calculate fate. Fell into grip in the hilt of the steel. Nothing is hidden and nothing is real. Tendons are cables and nerves of the bus. There is no mercy for any of us. Only the minerals staying the same. Burning the excess away in the flame. Femur is heavy as pillars of oak. Horror is stable, it never is broke. Patella was bolted to handle the load. Reading the marrow to download the code. Metatarsal ankles up deep in the frost. Nothing of value can never be lost. If it is tissue, then let it decay. If it is structure, then here it will stay. Clavicle bracing the weight of card. Everything solid and everything hard. No biofeedback to alter the aim. Only the numbers remain in the game. Synchronized with the vertebrae stack. Never retreating and never look back. Total system is purged of the weak. This is the silence the ancestor speak. This is the scaffold, this is the frame. Binary logic in an ancient name. Tensile strength in the radius. Bones strike like a hammer on a polished stone. Strip off the softness to find the design. Geometry follows the warrior line. 1,000 newtons of pressure applied. Nothing but calcium left on the inside. White home, circle in the dark of the snow. Data is static and nowhere to go. Trace the mandible one final time. Perfect alignment and perfect the rhyme. Owns the dead.
Iron claims the wall.
Odin owns the dead.
Iron claims the wall.
Odin owns the dead.
Iron claims the wall.
Odin owns the dead.
Iron claims the wall. Blueprint crushing frozen mud. Veins are pumping heavy blood. Pulling the thick ropes of the machine. Code geometry sharp and lean. Fingers grip the hempen strand. Blisters forming on the hand. Scanning the perimeter for the weak spot. Data says the stone is hot. Femur braced against the wood. Doing what the father should. Calculating massive velocity now. Sweat freezing on the brow. Biceps nodding under the fur. Vision starting to become a blur. I am the piston. I am the crane. Driving hard into the flank.
The massive
Thud of timber on iron.
The massive
Thud of timber on iron.
Splinters flying through the air.
Splinters flying through the air.
The rhythm of the ram is the code.
The rhythm of the ram is the code.
Watching the barrier finally explode.
Watching the barrier finally explode. Vertebrae kicking in into the slot, breaking the hinge of the iron knot. Cordon is locked on the gate of folk. Lungs are filled with the blackest smoke. Tendons stretching like a copper wire. Heart is the furnace, fueling the fire. Processing trauma in the medulla base. Warping, dripping down the face. Ribs are vibrating with the impact shock. Grinding the shield on the living rock. Kinetic energy transfer is perfect. Death is the only logical effect. Shoulder socket, grinding the joint. Sharpening the ram to a killing point. Nerves are on fire with the static charge. Watching the shadow of the beast grow large.
Bone and dash, bone and dash. Gears that crash, gears that crash. Bone and dash, bone and dash. Gears that crash, gears that crash.
Pulling the thick rope tighter than sin. Let the final destruction begin. Calibrating the swing to the hurts. Watching the blood with the granite spurs. Cartilage carrying in the anchor man. Executing the ancient battle plan. System is red and the system is raw. This is the only physical law. Metacar pulls back to the beam. Living inside of the drilling scheme. Skull is a circuit of ancestral fury. Iron is junction, the iron is jarring. Moisture is leading the mucous membrane. Driving the timber through the rain. No heroic finesse in the strike. Feeding the maw of the metal spine.
The massive
Thud of timber on iron.
The massive
Thud of timber on iron.
splinters flying through the air.
Splinters flying through the air.
The rhythm of the ram is the code.
The rhythm of the ram is the code.
Watching the barrier finally explode.
Watching the barrier finally explode. Scraping the marrow out of the stone. Medalist king on the northern throne. Horror integrated into the fist. Vanishing into the frozen mist. To rid the hatred and output the void. Everything built is everything destroyed. Wax freezing on the brow like glass. Waiting for the heaviness to pass. Pulling with thick ropes until they snap. Springing the jaws of the iron trap. Mass multiplied by the speed of the hate. Cracking the spine of the city gate. Abdominal muscles ripping the skin. Led in the darkness and winter in. Algorithm written in human waste. Victory has a metallic taste. Jawbone clenched in the permanent lock. Walking the gears of the universe shock. Nerve ending sprayed by the constant beat. Smelling the scent of the burning meat. Gravity pulls at the wreckage, the low. Only the ravens and engineers flow. Architecture failing the test. Putting the living to eternal rest.
The massive The massive The massive
Blood of timber on iron.
Iron in the ribs, metal in the grip. The system is frozen, no logic will slip. Hands heavy on knees, gravity locked. The foundation is set, the perimeter shocked. Cold in the marrow, the hardware is deep. The laws of the physics, the promise I keep. Eyes on the line where the horizon is flat. I sit on the stone where the ancestors sat. Dust on the shoulders, a granular weight. Calibration is perfect, I mastered the state. Tendons like cables, the tension is high. Scanning the data in the cold northern sky. Immovable, immovable, unbreakable, unbreakable. The geometry is fixed, the history is mixed. Immovable, immovable, unbreakable. I am the monolith beyond the myth. Nerves like a circuit, fire in the wire. I climb from the ash, I descend from the pyre. Bone white granite, skin like lead. There is no pulse in the living or dead. Data in the blood, the code in the vein. I am the mountain, I am the rain. Ribs like a cage for a binary beast. I look to the west, I ignore the east. My spine is a column of carbon and steel. I do not negotiate, I do not feel. Axis is centered, the balance is true. I am the end of the old and the new. The stone is splitting. The earth is admitting crack. Silence of centuries, heavy and thick. The clock is a liar, I don't hear a tick. Geometry perfect, the angle is set. A monument built on a physical debt. Hands on the knees, crushing the shell. I am the hammer, I am the nail. Input the struggle, output am the signal, I am the throne, bone marrow crystallized, ancient and cold. The story is hard-coded, never was told. I fix steady, never will blink. I am the anchor, I never will sink. Physics of power, the mass is supreme. I am the waking, I am the dream. No more flesh, only the grid. Nothing is lost, nothing is hid. Calibration, copy. Domination, copy. I am the fix, point in the dark. I am the fossil, I am the spark. Still, stone, sitting on a fractured throne. I am the landscape, I am the king. I am the only eternal thing. Still, stone, cold upon a broken throne. Silence of centuries. Silence of centuries. Dust on the shoulders.
Eyes on the line.
Eyes on the line.
Smoke hits the membrane, it stings in the eye. Gray clouds are choking the code of the sky. Step over beams that are charred to the core. Physics of ruin and logic of war. Axe meets the collarbone, snap at the base. Geometry shifted on every dead face. Hardware is broken, the town is a wreck. Iron is heavy around every neck. Smell of burnt flesh in the nasal canal. System is crashing in every locale. Rib cage is splintered like timber and pine. Calibrate terror along the spine line. Tendons are severed, the link is destroyed. Data is leaking into the vast void. Marrow is leaking on cobblestone street. Cursed is the rhythm of marching retreat.
The code is written
in calcium and dust.
The blade is hungry,
the metal won't rust.
Align the geometry,
level the town. The laws of the physics are bringing them down.
The nerves are fire,
the system is cold. The story of carnage is having his hold. Scan the horizon, the perimeter bleeds. Processing death for the all for the needs. Axes are tools for the human delete. Input the chaos and make it complete. Memory shatter, the support is gone. Wait for the output at breaking of dawn. Digital darkness on ancient terrain. Static is surging in every dead vein. Nerve endings twitching in puddles of black. No more resistance and no turning back. Skull is a vessel that leaks all the data. History ends with a hard terminator. Jawbone is unhinged, the speech is unmade. Calibrate power on every sharp blade. Flesh is the fabric, the tearing is loud. Wrapped in a burning and sulphurous shroud.
Silence replaces the vocalized scream. Hard reset function of every lost dream. No more acoustics of terror and dread. Only the null in the minds of the dead. Optical nerves cannot focus on light. Total shutdown in the middle.
The blade is written
in calcium and dust.
The blade is hungry,
the metal won't rust.
Align the geometry,
level the town. The laws of the physics are bringing them down.
The nerves are fire,
the system is cold. The story of carnage is having its hold. Step on the sternum, the cracking is crisp. Ghost of the signal is only a wisp. Fingers are stiff in the cold of the mud. Clogged is the filter with viscous red blood. Anatomy fails under pressure of steel. Broken the axle and broken the wheel. Logic is conquest, the logic is done. Under the glare of a black frozen sun.
Silence is heavy, the signal is lost. Calculate nothing but total the cost. One crow is watching the bones in
circuit of frozen light. The geometry hardens in the night. Cold is the logic and cold is the law. There is no mercy and there is no thaw. The bone is the hardware, the blood is the code. Heavy the burden, the glacier the load. Shatter the tendons and sever the nerve. Execution of data is all that we serve. Ribs are the rafters, the skull is the whole. System is silent, the pressure is full. Calcium structures engraved in the frost. Input the trauma and calculate cost. The aurora borealis lights up the void. Biology broken and fully destroyed. A million voices are trapped in the ice. Code is the physics and war is the price. Eternal Valhalla is frozen in time. The morrow is hardening, peak of the climb. Shield wall geometry locked in a grid. The axe is the key and the secret is hid. Calibrate shoulders and level the blade. Physics of slaughter is how we are made. The lungs are the bellows, not clock with the silt. I run this heavy inside of the build. Scan the whole reason for signals of death. Wait for the exit of one final breath. The aurora borealis lights up the void. Biology broken and fully destroyed. A million voices are trapped in the ice. Cold is the physics and war is the price. Eternal Valhalla is frozen in time. The morrow is hardening, peak of the climb. Tear out the white ring, the sinew and neat. Binary rhythm in every repeat. The spine is the antenna reaching the storm. Cold is the standard and cold is the norm. Analyze fractures along the left fist. The narrative ends in a freezing white mist. The skull is a vessel for storing the fact. Physical laws in the murderous pact. The aurora borealis lights up the void. Biology broken and fully destroyed. A million voices are trapped in the ice. Cold is the physics and war is the price. Eternal Valhalla is frozen in time. The morrow is hardening, peak of the climb. 1 million channels of sacrifice. The hard drive is frozen, the logic is frail. The myth is recorded in calcified bone. The mall road was Christ held, the joint is the hinge. The Arctic is burning on every fringe. Quantize the movement, then me show the gap. Viking is data inside of the trap. The heart is the pump that has run out of fuel. The freezing of entropy makes up the ruel. Party like shatters like glass on the floor. Final encryption at Valhalla's door. The aurora borealis lights of the void. Biology broken and fully destroyed. A million voices are trapped in the ice. Cold is the physics and war is the price. Eternal Valhalla is frozen in time. The morrow is hardening, peak of the climb.